You have been playing around thinking that the corrupts have taken over the country, but you will see what will happen.
Wano point jotuuka kunga Museveni bw'omutunuulira olina mukwatibwa tusanga tusaana kunyiiga. Ye point gyatuukako. Alimba ng'aseka n'okuseka. Laba face ye. Muli wanguzi namba emu yagigaba ekikola oba ekiwaniridde Museveni mu buyinza kugulirira bantu nguzi. Naye yatuuka bagamba nti oba bagamba yaguba, oyinza okugamba ekigambo yaguba nti n'okwogera ku kintu akyogerako nga bw'aseka nga amanyi tekigenda kukola. Yabadde yakwogera ebyo. Enguzi mbi, tugivumirira biki. Aye n'agamba buli mubaka yabadde mu retreat cyangwa Kyankwanzi tugenda kuwa millions 10. Si millions, million 10. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Eyakava okuvumirira okugulirira n'okuwa enguzi yagamba ngenda kuwa 10. Kati mbulira mu Museveni abasiimye nnyo n'agamba kambagabire ali mu kubagula. Nkwaniza ku mukutu gwa Mordecai Murisa live.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, okusinzira munda mu ggwanga ali United States of the America, ogamba otyo okansipenti oli bulungi nze Mordecai Murisa, nkwaniza ku mukutu gwa Mordecai Murisa live. Ladies and gentlemen, tugenda kwongera okwogera ku nguzi. Museveni agenda kuwa ababaka aba NRM abalonda abajjanduza n'abakadde obukadde 10. Ensimbi zo Museveni agenda kuziwa abantu 10 buli omu. Enjala ekala moja teweddeewo. Amalwaliro eddagala malwaliro sigamba nti balijjuza nedda. Ebyenfuna by'eggwanga sigamba nti bimiridde nedda. Naye Museveni yagenda gaba ssente ezo. Museveni atuuse ku point bagiyita the wise the elder, you know, the wise elder. Musajja muzeeyi alina amagezi, yakula n'amagezi. Then n'atuuka ne ku level endala ndowooza omusajja ono agyogerako mu kitabo kino eno. Plato bagiyita philosopher king. Nti otandika okumutunuliranga kabaka omugezi bitagambika. Kubanga Plato awandiika nti philosopher king ye mukulembeza afaayo eri abantu. Ye mukulembeza ayagala okugatta. Ye mukulembeza akulembeza amazima n'obwenkanya. Kati Museveni olw'okuba tasobola kubifuna kubanga ye kyasinga okufa okwenywereza mu buyinza. Yagamba kambifune n'amaanyi. Waakiri nja kuwamba abantu, nja kubatulugunya, nja kubatta, nja kubagulirira. Mu ngeri emu oba endala muteekeddwa okundaba nga ndi bwakabi. Ensonga lwaki kiyita kabaka w'omulembe guno oba ekyasa kino, modern day king. May I give an example here? Njaga otuna ekifaananyi ekyo. Abo bonna ba NRM batunuulire bakulembeze nno ab'amaanyi mu kibiina naye batunuulire engeri gye bamuyisaamu. Ono bamuyita Muhwezi Katugugu alina emyaka 75 ne bavamiriza mu layini ne bagamba mutandika okuba engalo. Laba eno emabega eno emabega we ono gw'olaba wano. Ono gw'olaba wano eno prime minister we naye alinganga alabye oba ekiki amusinza. Of course tojja kwewunya yamuyita deputy god nti Katonda kasitovaako Museveni akwata ekyokubiri. Naye njagala olabe engeri gye bamukubira engalo. Mulina yeetinda ndi wakabi ndi w'amaanyi laba bwe bansinza. N'atandika okudda mu bulimba. Look at this face.
Mulowooza nti omubbi kati You have been playing around thinking that
A bit of break around the thing. Chichi, lwaki yogeza bw'atyo?
the corrupt have taken over the country.
But the corrupt have taken over the country. You are the chief corrupt. You are the corrupting chief. You took over the country. First go back and see how you assumed power. It wasn't through a democratic way. You killed people.
But you will see what will happen.
Nothing is going to happen unless you say you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to resign. You are corrupt. You are named in a corruption case here in the USA. You know about Patrick Ho, who was sent to prison. You, alongside Sam Kahamba Kutesa, you are as corrupt as they come. Look at him. Mubade.
You have been playing around thinking that the corrupt have taken over the country. But you will see what will happen.
But you will see. Like, by just a mere YouTube search, no take amwe ekigambo nti Museveni on corrupt. Let me show you. Ebyayogedde kankulage kyenfunye. Museveni on corruption. Tugende waneno batandika na kuwachi. Museveni comes out strongly on corruption in his government. This is 7 years ago. What happened? Wabakolera chi? Then you have this one. Chairman has something. That's Museveni faces off with Deputy Speaker Olanya after corruption walk. What happened? These are 6 years ago. President Museveni on corruption 7 months ago. Judiciary is failing fight against corruption. These are how many years ago? 5 years ago. This is Museveni to act tough on corruption. Like, the feature of the Museveni criminal regime is corruption. Then we amaze okwogera ebyo ate nadda ku bino kati wulira ayakava okwogera kugulira abantu n'enguzi.
The National Resistance Movement leaders and officials are leaving an 8-day retreat held in Kyankwanzi district with a huge smile on their faces. President Museveni indicated that he was to hand over 100 million shillings to each of them. Museveni talked about the money in Acholi, saying that he would start off by giving the leaders 20 million shillings and the remaining 80 million on a later date.
Achako, I don't listen. I don't want to listen to that nonsense. I don't want to listen. Achako, he thinks of himself as being let me be a comedian.
Came and we talked, and she helped me. She's now an angel now.
She's now an angel now. Come on, how to put them in. I don't care. Then you have Sarah Binet, who was so quick to point out. She's like, Mr. President, please stop sending money to members of parliament to enact laws like you did with the UPDF Amendment Act. Members of parliament are already paid by taxpayer to make laws. The public money you send them amounts to a bribe and is a double cost. Simple.
You have been playing around thinking that the corrupt have taken over the country, but you will see what will happen.
Nothing.
I would want to naturally that speech of hers.
About what? I don't care. I do not care. And then you have David Lewis Lubongoya, who was quick to point out, and rightly so, he said, 40 billion squeezed out of the struggling. These are the total amount of these 100 million that's going to be distributed amongst these people. It amounts to 40 billion shillings. 40 billion shillings squeezed out of the struggling, poverty-stricken, heavily indebted population and gifted to NRM members of parliament. All known public finance procedures thrown outside the window. Many times you wonder what more you can say about this country called Uganda. Did I hear Museveni tell those members of parliament not to be corrupt, only to crown the retreat with a grand corruption scandal? Make it make sense. Everyone is laughing at him. At one point, you just want to cry. You be like, how do we make these things up? How do you define what you see? A man has just condemned corruption. But again, it shouldn't be as a surprise, but I'll have to complete this sentence. A man has condemned corruption and then goes on to engage in bribery. But that's not a surprise. He's the same man who, alongside his wife, did you see them? Let me take you back to what they did. I know some people have told me, Mordecai, we like it when you mimic Museveni and his wife, Janet Kataha. We wanted to apologize to the people of Uganda. We are sorry for what we did. Knowing and unknowing. Now, please forgive us. Now, right now, we pray. That facade of an apology. Chebaddako ki? Kichebaddako kola. Kumachaba kera kuwamba babantu kubatulugunya. He doesn't care. Ebigambo ye tebina. They do not merit a thing. Ebigambo nga nsonyiwa. Ebigambo nga omutujju ye takimanyi kira kitegeeza. Batta abantu baana bato baana basiniafu muwanga kibumbi yabadde n'abatujju. Tebina kibitegeeza gyali. Then you have, I think Walter Mwesge's health report at NTV said, President Museveni has promised to give the Kyankwanzi attendees about 37 billion Ugandan shillings for free, money that can finance Chirudu Hospital's financial year's budget. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen, 37 billion shillings for free. Of course, he's buying them. But if you really want to know, if you really want to fight corruption in Uganda, don't look too far away. Don't look too far. Look here. Thieves hide behind Museveni. That was the former Inspector General of Government, Irene Muriagonja. Then you have another story from Daily Monitor. NRM has many thieves, says Sarah Opende. She warned. Did you see any of them being arrested? Absolutely not. Then you have Betty Olivunami Sangu coming to Yoma. Again, former IGP. She says, they report 1 million shillings lost to corruption each hour. Like 1 million shillings. We lose around $290 each hour to corruption. And then you have here Mike Mukula making this bold claim. Mukula claims giving Gavi fund money to Janet Museveni. So Museveni and his wife are corrupt as they come. I'm not done yet. Watch here. Museveni, when Anita Among was confirmed that she was involved in a corruption scandal, this is what he said. People like Anita Among are not the problem. The real problem we have is the traitor working for foreigners. They are not. Now, when he says that traitors working with foreigners, he's referring to Bobby Wine. That's the problem. And what does he mean that, working with foreigners? If you have people who are your friends in the US or Europe or Asia and Museveni, and they don't like Museveni, you're a traitor in his eyes. He's a complete charlatan. He's a sociopath. He's sick. This man, I'm getting intelligence. We're going to expose those traitors. Up to now, we're still waiting for you to expose those traitors, you charlatan. I'm not done yet here. Again, thieves hide behind Museveni, says Inspector General of Government, Irene Muriagonja. Then you have Museveni here, says, on the side of corruption, as president, I have put in place the following: the leadership code, the office of the IGG, the State House, Health Monitoring Committee, the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. All for what? One unit. You don't even have two. We have ministries that can actually fight corruption. But do you know why he requires, or he ends up forming all these units? Because one unit, goes after one of his friends in Agaba. Temujja kulumba muntu wange oyo mumuleke. Agamba ntadde kati akagundi akala ka group akala mukalwa nsenguzi. He's a liar as they come. And Joe Senyonyi was quick to point out, let's be honest. Corruption is the glue that has kept this regime in place. Once you remove corruption, the system crumbles. No wonder there's no political will to fight it. There's no political will whatsoever. And as we're discussing corruption, we cannot close this without mentioning this that went down yesterday. You have abogerezi b'ebitongole by'okwerinda bazze nga kwotadde ne ayogera gundi Uganda Media Center sengejo lya mawulire mu Uganda Kasujja, Chris Masiru, Magezi, Noli Guy, Chituma Rusoke nga bazze kugamba bali mu kutegeka birthday ya Muhoozi Kene Rugaba. Sente mekezi genda okubeera mu eyo stupid event. Birthday? Who cares about Muhoozi's birthday? Tewali agala kumanya. They don't care. They do not care at all. At all, like zero. Then, ojja kubalaba, ojja kulya sempe ezigenda okubeera mu ebyo. So when we talk about corruption and Museveni, tusa kubawula, they are like they are connected like together. Beguwa Mukwano, it's Bonnie and Clyde. Beguwa Mukwano, it is Jack and Rose. Beguwa Mukwano, it is Majangwa and Nachirija. Bali bat. Okay? Tebasobola kweta. Boluba luyimba Museveni ayimba bigambo bya Moze Radio. Yene enguzi. You are magnet. Love is magnetic. You are magnet. You're so loving. You're so magnetic. Enguzi ne Museveni bali magnetic. Tebasobola kweta. Kubomu bwata munne. Obwana chema iranga bugwa. Agenda kugulani. Agenda kusirisa ati abantu okubagamba nti musirike eri ebikolo ebyokuwamba okuta n'okutulugunya abantu. Agenda kukikola ati. Talina ngeri gy'agenda kukikola. So, ekimuyambye okubeera nga abantu basirika kubanga abagulirira n'abawa ssente n'abawa ebifo n'ebintu bwe bityo. Kikwasa ennaku. Naye nga bwe ntera okubagamba, ladies and gentlemen, kino kitujjukize erimu abaagala okwesimbawo, erimu abaagala okukulembera. Bino bibeere ng'ekijjukizo. Bwe tuba tufunye obuyinza, biki byeteekeddwa okukola okununula eggwanga lyaffe n'okutereeza ensi yonna okutwaliza wamu. Wabula tekiteekeddwa na kubeera nti ogenda kubeera muntu mulungi oba wampisa oba muweereza oba mwesimbu ng'oli mu buyinza. Osobola okitandikira eyo mu maka gy'owangaalira ne baganda bo ne mikwano gyo, ku ssomero gy'osomesa, mu kampuni gy'okola. Amazima ago n'ogateekayo. Kuba waliwo abalaba, tokola nti bakulabe. Naye waliwo abalaba by'okola birina impact gye bikola, gwa contributinga ku kukyusa ensi. So bikole, tolinda gavumenti ekyuke, tolinda kubeera na kifo kya bukulembeze. Wonna w'oli obwetowaze, empisa, okuwa ekitiibwa, ebintu byonna byonna bya muwendo ogutenkanika. So tulaba Museveni ng'akola ebikolo byonna bamwetoolodde n'ogamba kati nange kirabika bwe nteekeddwa okuba. Nedda mukwano. Bali baweereza ku ntebe ya Ssekabaka Setaani ne bw'oyagala okuba sisuubira. Mbadde nzize kulwana naye ngambye kansooke ennyombe, ndowooza okuyomba kuwedde. Okay, njagala okutwala okusiima abantu mwenna aba sponsoringa sheno nga bw'obalaba ku screen wano. Mbalina Mutesi Zainab, Bobby Grandpa, Sagala Godwin, Babu Edward, Muhindo Samuel Kalyabyuma, Salongo Julius, Mutebi Ron, Maria Bazanye, Mr. Good 57 Primus, Saint Keno Official, Mbonigaba, Noshua Bobby, Adero Faith, Kasacha George Dennis, Moses Lusiba, Yiga Fred Sule, Becky Davis Blessing, Lubinga Robert, Mogoya Andrew, Egistar Eden Jaira, Yobu Atwendiz, n'abalala. Wali abalala ate bo abasponsoring naye nga tebaagala ate kuboogerako mannya gaabwe. Mwebale mwenna. Ennamba yawedadde y'abantu be twali twagala 10 okusponsoring eno show. So abaali babwagala okutwegattako, maybe bwe tulirabanga tugamba twongereko naye ogira olaba show. Nkwagaliza okubeera obulungi weeraba.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.